your girl again, Angie B on the go. And you know, that's right, I'm on the go again. Here I'm gonna continue on today with our self-help series, taking care of ourselves, self-care. Remember, last week I did about our spiritual life, because you know, everything starts there, spiritual. But today we're gonna do financial. Because we know when your financial is out of whack, create a lot of problems in the other areas of your life. So I have a young man here today. His name is Delano Paul. He's a perfect example. He has been through a lot himself, so he has a story to tell. And I want you to listen to his story, okay? And when you listen to his story, give me your feedback in the comments. All right, let us go.
So first of all, thank you for calling me young. I'm pretty awesome. Kids don't think so, but I appreciate that.
Okay. I want to ask you a series of questions. As I said before, you've been through a lot, and I love your story because I'm sure it would inspire somebody out there. So that's why I decided to sit with you today. So, first question is, how was your life before the transformation happened where you're now financially better off?
It's a situation where I haven't thought about that in a while because it was just such a painful time that, you know, you try to block out those negative memories and just focus on the good stuff and the positive stuff that's going on. And I've always tried to move forward with different things. But yeah, I mean, I just remember, I don't know how much I was making on a monthly basis, but I do remember just being like about $500, $600 short every single month. And it's a situation where it was just so painful because my mom, who took care of me, you know, until I really went out on my own, and you move forward and you have your own thing going on. You have, you're a man and everything else. And I found her taking care of me again, you know, because I was $500 short every single month, and I just had more bills than the income was coming in. So it was just, and as a person, you feel like you're coming up short in life.
Especially as a man, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember, I didn't mean to cut you, but I remember you were saying you were working at one point 3 jobs. 3 jobs, guys.
Yeah. And that was the thing. I was working 3 jobs at a time, and so to be working that hard and still be financially devastated or financially short is just so I didn't have the time, I didn't have the money. It was
you definitely don't have the freedom.
You definitely don't. So that's felt like you're doing this rat race, you're going around and everything else, just spinning your wheels in mud, and it was just as I said, it was just a really painful experience that I tend to try to not talk about because you get a little bit emotional just thinking about that time.
All right. So. How did the transformation start? What did you do?
Well, I mean, so one of the things was this, right? There was someone they had started their own business. So one of the things I had, like I graduated, I had a degree in biology pre-med, have a bachelor's degree, and picture this, is this young lady that has no degree, single parent, and the school that I was teaching at and working at, she was one of the students going back there to a degree and everything else, and on a part-time basis, she was making more than I was making full-time.
With your degree?
With my degree, with the 3 jobs and everything else. And that was just a eye-opener in terms of everything, just because you're like, how is that possible? And I realized that it was because she had a business, that she was an entrepreneur, and she was doing some stuff that she could determine how much she was worth, and I could only determine how much they thought I was worth at the time in regards to that whole thing. So took it, really talked to her, and she introduced me to someone who's become a mentor and really helped me in terms of business and just building a business as well. So totally was a life transforming just connection right there.
So that's one of the key, guys, business ownership, right?
Yep,
that's where it all starts. Can you share a little of, you know, the first time you made a certain amount of money? You don't have to say, you know, and what changed after the transformation?
So let me take it back a little bit. I remember when I first came to this country. So I came from Trinidad and Tobago. When I first came to this country, I was working in a gym. I was making about $6 50 cents an hour. And I remember them raising it to 6.75, and it was the most exciting time. I really celebrated that quarter increase. And so to have a situation where I had over $15,000 come in a month, still do work business on a part-time basis, but I have over $15,000 come in part-time while still working a job. So that's one of the things. Most people think I have to quit my job, I have to do all sorts of stuff. You can start your business while also working a job. And so that was one of the things that, and I realized it wasn't me, it was just the fact that I found a need that people could gravitate with, and just position myself to that need, that I was able to make that type of income. Because what I tell people, if just the $6.50 an hour guy could have over $14,000 come in fact, one of the weeks was like over $10,000 just in a week, then it's a situation where anyone could do it. They just have to have a proven system they could plug into that creates success.
But I do understand that you have to have a different mindset in order for you to start making that money. Am I correct? Because we know a lot of people make money, but what happened to the money?
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean?
Absolutely. And it's a situation where you do have to have a mindset, you do have to have certain things that's poured into you to feel that you deserve it on the money. And so I remember paying $500 that I didn't have to go to attend this conference with this lady. And what did she do? She read from a book, and she basically pointed out things from the book. Now people will say, well, why would you pay $500 to have someone go through a book that you could have read yourself? Well, the fact is, I wasn't going through that book myself. So it was big that she just went through that. And one of the questions that she asked me, and she said, why are you not making the type of income that you want to make? It's obviously that you don't want to. I was like, no, that's not true. You still feel a little bit like, like offended, but it was the truth. And I realized that when I came to this country, I didn't have certain documentation, didn't have certain papers, didn't have certain stuff. So I was trying to make fly under the radar, make less than I was sort of fly under the radar type of stuff. But that mindset, when those restrictions get lifted, you still have that same mindset. And she said this one thing that just totally transformed. She said, money is a gift from God through people, and to deny money is to deny God. And so my bank account was a direct reflection on how many people I was helping, and if I was really doing what God purposed me to do. And so that mindset, and that's her reading the books, that's totally changed certain things. So
awesome. So you have to feed your mind so that you can feed your pockets.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's all here in your thoughts.
Yeah, richest man in Babylon.
So, our next question. What would you say someone who wants to be successful? So I think you basically covered that in your answer a while ago. What do they need to do?
Well, I mean, the first thing is that they have to write down what success looks like for them. So people want to be successful, but they don't know, they have never written it down, they don't understand what success looks like. What's the end result in terms of that type of success? And you have to write it down, write down what it is, because success is different for every person, right?
That's true.
And the other thing is that they have to, what I like to call, do SMART goals. And so SMART is just an acronym. I'll go through what the acronym stands for. So S stands for specific, right?
SMART goals.
Yeah. So whatever the specific money amount, or whatever success looks like for you. M stands for measurable. So how is measurable? Well, what's the money income? What's the time freedom? What's the thing? They're different than you, right? A stands for, is it attainable, right? So to go from making $6.50 next month saying, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to make over $1 million next month, probably might not be attainable, probably might not be in terms of that. I was for realistic, just in terms of, is it realistic, is it something that could happen? So both is attainable and realistic, and T is just for, it has to have a time stamp on it. So someone in your lifetime you'll make $1 million, but it's a situation where do you want to make $1 million in 5 years, 10 years, or do you want to make $1 million in 70 years, right?
It's a big difference.
And it's a situation. And what I advise everyone is, hey, try to make $1 million within 5 to 15 years, because in 70 years you would have spent it with maintaining all the bills. So you still made it, but it's just a situation where, in order for it to be purposeful in terms of doing things, you want to having a shorter time period.
So that is the stages then for a good financial goal. Smart goals, as he explained previously. I just want to add that success can come at any age. Yes, is business, part of his business, what he does is geared towards young people and their growth, but older people too. It's never too late to start working on goals.
So if I could share this one story, Colonel Sanders, right? I don't know if you know who Colonel Sanders is, Kentucky
KFC.
KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and he received phenomenal success after retirement, right?
There you go.
After retirement, he after he had retired, and everything else, they were, oh, he's too old and everything else, and then look what he created in his retirement. And then recently I had these other individuals, and they're like 25-year-olds and stuff, and I was speaking to a friend, and he said that they last year grossed over $1 million at 25. So it's a situation where it's not age requirement, it's just a desire requirement. How much do you desire to have those things happen in your life?
Okay, so as you know, we're on the training today, and he said you have to be hungry.
Yep.
You have to be committed, and you have to be coachable. So that is it, guys. I want to thank you, Mr. Delano Paul,
hey, it's a pleasure.
for coming out here and
everything
doing
else
this interview
and all
with
that.
us.
Yep.
So, guys, there you have it from the financial side. So if you have any question, sound off in the chat. Sound off in the chat. Okay? So remember, this is Angie on the go. Until next time. Peace.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.